Thieves. Chaos inside a crowded London theater when a balcony collapses.
Target shoppers hacked. How thieves may have swiped millions of credit card numbers.
He was a beautiful, beautiful kid.
One town's emotional salute to a fallen Marine.
We've seen a little bit of snow over the past week or so. Put it to good use. Out on the slopes here in the Neshoba Valley ski area, we'll talk about the weather here, the conditions, plus what to expect this upcoming weekend.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 6 starts right now.
Breaking news tonight in London, a live look at the street just outside the Apollo Theater. This is in the West End, the theater district. Over more than 80 people injured, and 7 of them very seriously after a balcony collapses. We know that 7 of those injuries, as I said, are very serious at this point, but still a lot of information still coming into us. Thanks for being with us. I'm Johnathan Elias.
I'm Lisa Hughes. This all happened about 40 minutes into a crowded performance. Suddenly, people in the audience heard a creaking sound. There were about 700 people in the theater watching the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime. It was 8:15 London time, 3:15 our time. A piece of a balcony suddenly began to crumble, and then the whole thing collapsed onto the audience below. It sent the theater into near darkness. Many people came out of that theater covered in dust and debris. Some were bleeding. 2 witnesses described what they saw.
Well, suddenly there was this massive crash, and a massive section of it came down, room filled with dust straight away. It seemed to miss everyone in the balcony, the rear circle and everything, and just go down onto the people in the stalls. And we couldn't see down there, but I can't imagine what it was like.
Well, it was one of those surreal moments where you're there and something happens, and to begin with you think it's part of the show, and then people start clambering over you. And then Michelle and I were looking for the nearest exit, so it was as simple as that. It was all a bit of a rush, and then we found ourselves outside. It was very strange.
Now, many of the people inside the Apollo Theater were trapped. They had to be rescued. The city was hit by a strong thunderstorm. It happened just about an hour before the balcony collapsed. Unclear right now if that played any role in the accident. The theater was built in 1901. In this country, a major security breach at Target tonight. Millions of shoppers can't help but worry that their credit cards and their bank accounts are at risk.
At this point, Target says thieves had access to the cards for almost a full month, right before Thanksgiving until this past weekend. Christina Hager joining us live in Framingham tonight with more on this. Christina?
Well, Johnathan, this is huge. This affects an estimated 40 million customers. And here's what Target says hackers had access to. Not only people's names, but credit card numbers, also the expiration dates, and that security code on the back of your credit card.
I feel compelled to go home and check my credit report.
It's a plastic world, especially this time of year. And now some 40 million of us who swiped credit or debit cards at Target may have given our buying power to cyber thieves.
I am going to destroy the card, and I will get a new card eventually, but that card is gone.
Gone, says Massachusetts Undersecretary of Consumer Affairs. She says check your accounts, but even more important, run a credit report.
You can set up a new credit card, some other Visa or MasterCard, with that particular kind of information.
CBS News reports investigators believe the data came from software installed in Target's magnetic swipe machines. Security expert Robert Siciliano.
More than likely what happened was when this server responsible for talking to all these different stores' credit card terminals was breached. Bad guys were in there. They saw all the data.
This morning I heard about what had happened, so I've been trying to use cash.
Our viewers have complained they can't get through to Target. When we called, a constant busy signal. But less than a week before Christmas, the fiasco did not seem to affect business here. The parking lot full.
I did swipe my card today. I feel like we've kind of protected ourselves previous to this event. It's just a sad fact of life.
So, is it safe to swipe your card here now that this has been exposed? Target says it has fixed the problem. It is putting in more security precautions, but the state's Attorney General, Martha Coakley, says she wouldn't do it. She's launched an investigation along with the state's Consumer Affairs Department. In Framingham, Christina Hager, WBZ News. Johnathan, back to you.
All right, Christina, thanks. All this December snow has meant an early start to shoveling and, more importantly, skiing. Chief Meteorologist Eric Fisher is joining us live at the Neshoba Valley in Westford tonight. Eric, no complaints up on the mountain there.
No, not at all here. You know, winter is long in New England for a lot of folks. If it's going to snow, it's going to be cold. You got to find ways to have fun and enjoy it. That's what people have been doing here at Neshoba.
Of course, they've had almost 2 feet of snow over the past week. Fresh powder in December. That's a beautiful thing. Let's take a look at some of the temperatures out there and see if any of that will be melting. Now, tonight, it will be chilly enough where things will be freezing back up. So for a lot of us that enjoyed the melt this afternoon, well, it's still going in downtown Boston. But look at Nashua and Keene in the 20s. We're right around the freezing mark here. 42 in Chatham, not too bad across southeastern parts of the state. So we head through tonight. We'll be looking at some clouds on the increase, also slippery spots from the daytime melt, and generally light winds. Could be a couple areas of fog that try to develop later on, too. Now, in terms of what happens after this, boy, some warmer air really starting to work its way in. Finally, some above average days. That might not be the best news for the ski areas, although I think many of them are going to stay cold enough to hold on to what they've got. This may also be an issue for a place like right here and into southern New Hampshire this weekend. We're going to talk about some of the details on that coming up a little bit. Plus, explain what all the lights are here at Neshoba, not just skiing, that you can enjoy as we head toward this weekend. Lisa, back to you.
Well, looks festive, Eric. Thank you. Governor Deval Patrick wants to know whether other state workers dropped the ball and failed to protect a 5-year-old boy who's missing and now presumed dead. We have just learned that a program manager has been reassigned in this case pending an investigation. No one has seen little Jeremiah Oliver since September. He lived with his mother and her boyfriend in Fitchburg, and now those 2 adults are under arrest, accused of abusing Jeremiah and his siblings. A social worker and a supervisor at the Department of Children and Families were fired earlier this week for not making required monthly visits to the home.
There are hundreds of successes and miracles performed by the staff at DCF every day. They don't make news. They do a terrific job. But when something goes wrong and this wrong, it raises all the questions in my mind that it does in yours and your viewers and listeners. And I want to get to the bottom of that.
Now, the governor expects a report from DCF within 10 days. He wants to know if other workers are responsible and whether there are systemic problems that have to be fixed.
Family, friends, and strangers line the streets of Fairhaven today to pay tribute to a fallen Marine killed in Afghanistan. Lance Corporal Matthew Rodriguez was just 19 years old. Ken McLeod takes us to his hometown for this emotional salute.
As his flag-draped coffin came off the plane this afternoon, one of his former teachers cried among the flag-toting mourners who turned out to pay their respects.
I just feel the need to be close to him. Some way, somehow, I need to be here.
Matthew Rodriguez enlisted in the Marines right out of high school the summer before last. His fiancé's dad called him the Smiling Warrior as he headed off for Afghanistan, where he was killed by a roadside bomb last week. Today, the 19-year-old's parents and siblings were on the tarmac as he returned home, right next to a playground just named for the Lance Corporal.
Want to feel the love and support, and that's why we're here.
Many others clearly felt the same way, lining the street as his police motorcade crossed the bridge into his hometown of Fairhaven, where a sea of school kids honored the sacrifice made by Matthew and his family.
I think they get that what their son or what their family member did was really meant a lot to us, because it did.
The teenage Marine went on one last trip through his old neighborhood and right past his house on Center Street. But most of those who paid roadside tribute had not known him.
It just feels like you want to be out here to pay respects to the family and to a fallen hero like Matthew.
His funeral is set for Monday, with burial at the National Cemetery in Bourne. But as flags at half-staff rippled in the South Coast wind today, so did the emotions of a teacher and a town.
I've just been driving around all week thinking about him. He was a beautiful, beautiful kid.
In Fairhaven, Ken McLeod, WBZ News.
Our thoughts go out to his family. Tonight, Storrow Drive is back open after a mess of a morning commute. It was a clogged pump that froze and then flooded eastbound tunnel, forcing officials just to shut the section of the road down for the entire morning and most of the day. Yes, it created a mess. Road salt may be the reason that the pump clogged up in the first place.
New here at 6 o'clock, the road back for a Boston Marathon survivor goes through Worcester tonight. That city's fire department is now playing a major role in her recovery. And as Karen Anderson explains, it's all thanks to a dog named Rescue.
For Jessica Kensky, life looks much different than it did 2 months ago.
So nice to meet you.
Jessica and her husband Patrick Downs were newlyweds at the time of the bombing. Both lost their left legs in the attack. In the darkness of that recovery, they found joy in this adorable fuzzy friend, a highly trained service dog named Rescue.
He just makes me smile, and I can't imagine not having him.
Today, Jessica and Patrick brought Rescue to meet the Worcester firefighters who named him. with a donation to the Positively Strong Fund in honor of fallen firefighter John Davies, who rode Rescue 1.
I'm sure he would be happy knowing that there's a dog out there that's helping somebody. You know, that's all he ever wanted to do.
It's one of those things that you don't really have words for it, but you get chills because you realize the connection, the symbolism of it all.
You ready? Fetch. Jessica demonstrated how Rescue is always there to help.
Says he can fetch things for me, he can open doors, he can turn off lights. He also provides me with just some more independence.
A legacy of friendship, a source of happiness in one special dog. In Worcester, Karen Anderson, WBZ News.
And coming up here on WBZ News, hardly the holiday spirit, throwing punches over parking spaces in Southie.
Looking for the holiday Scrooge who destroyed a yard full of decorations and the Christmas gift that will have the display shining brightly once again. Plus, we've enjoyed fantastic early season conditions on the slopes of New England. Will that continue this weekend? We'll track a storm when we come back. We paid for this much new carpet.
But we got all this.
Get 60% off carpet at Empire today. Schedule at EmpireToday.com or call
800-588-2300 Empire Today.
You can make a difference at the Subaru Share the Love event. Buy a brand new Subaru Forester, Motor Trend's 2014 Sport Utility of the Year, and was awarded Top Safety Pick Plus by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. Share the love and drive home a brand new Subaru Forester for only $21,995.
What makes a Subaru a Subaru?
Buy a brand new Forester, and Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of 5 charities.
Well, the Chevy year-end event sure was good to you. With 10 standard airbags and an EPA estimated 38 mpg highway, you guys are going to love your new Chevy Cruze.
Thanks again for the great deal, Nick.
Happy holidays!
Chevy's giving more. Right now, qualified current lessees can get a 2014 Chevy Cruze LT for around $149 per month.
Tell her how your love has grown with 1/3 carat journey pendants for $99. The Jewelry Exchange imports and produces diamonds direct and manufactures jewelry using the latest technology. Compare Tiffany's 1/4 carat diamond 18 carat band for $2,700 with the Jewelry Exchanges for $539. 14 carat $349, 10 carat $199. 3-stone tennis bracelets are $299 and 1 carat studs are $599. Save up to 80% by buying diamond and factory direct. The Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
I bet someone wants a race car for Christmas.
Let's make it happen, big guy. Set me up in a Ford Focus.
But that's a real car.
Is that a problem?
This is.
It has great fuel economy and it's so much fun to drive. It's got crazy handling.
But the Ford Focus is an awfully big present. Have you been a good boy?
Define good.
What was that?
Lease a Focus with a merry little payment of $99 a month. Or buy with up to $3,000 cash back. More people are leaving BMW, Mercedes, and Lexus for Audi than ever before. The holidays won't last, and neither will the exceptional values at the Season of Audi sales event.
Visit AudiBurlington.com.
We paid for this much new flooring.
But we got all of this.
Get 60% off flooring at Empire Today. Schedule at EmpireToday.com or call
800-588-2300 Empire
Today.
Winter has only just begun, but tempers over parking in South Boston, they're already flaring up big time. One man is under arrest, and a 66-year-old man's in the hospital with a busted jaw after they fought over a spot on East 8th Street. The victim says he paid to have the spot shoveled out, and it was shoveled out, but this guy, Juan Beltran Rivera, parked in it anyway. Words were exchanged, and then the punches flew. Beltran Rivera says he was just defending himself.
A New Hampshire family wants to catch the Grinch destroying their holiday display. It's the second time that the front lawn of the Derry home has been hit by vandals. You can actually see in this video somebody slashing the inflatable decorations over and over again. In all, he destroyed 6 of them. Well, after the first incident back in November, the homeowners upgraded their surveillance cameras, and they hope this time the video will help police track down the guy doing this.
I am hurt more than anything. It's the holiday season, you know, Christmas, and I just can't believe that someone would come out and do that a second time.
The family will try to set up the decorations once again. The local photo, by the way, dropped off 8 new decorations just this morning.
Did you know our chief meteorologist, Eric Fisher, finally nailed his double backflip on his his skiboard today?
Is that what he was working on?
He had a snowboard. He said, I got to go to the show with that. I got to practice my thing. He nailed his double backflip.
Well, and he's got quite a backdrop right now. Let's send it back out to Eric Fisher, where, Eric, it looks absolutely beautiful. Let's see it.
I'm more limber than I look. I can surprise people out there. You know, it's been gorgeous in terms of the skiing and snowboarding weather here over the past few days. Of course, 24 inches of snow stacked up here over the last 2 storms. Let's talk about what comes next, because this weekend will bring some changes. Now, for tonight, certainly cold enough. We won't be looking at a lot of melting around here. Temperatures dipping back into the 20s. Nationally, there is a lot of milder air down across the south central United States. That's what we're watching. It's going to try to nose its way in as we head toward this weekend. And in some ways, it will succeed. It won't get all the way up into northern New England. For tonight, well, we've got 39 in Boston, but much colder air already. Nashville at 29 degrees in the interior. So lows will be falling back into the 20s there, west of the city. Around the city and the coast, we're looking at the low to mid-30s overnight. Not quite as bitter as it has been. So we'll be able to get outside tomorrow morning without major chill in the air. Tomorrow we'll do a little bit better than we saw today. It'll be a mix of sun and clouds. 44 in the city, 45 in Taunton, Providence up to 44. Even Worcester up to 40 degrees. It's the warmest you've been in quite some time. This is the front we're watching as we head into the weekend. Now, tomorrow night, we might get a couple of light showers that try to work their way in. We're barely on the warm side of this one. Anywhere in northern New England looks at the much colder air. Saturday afternoon and evening, another burst of rain tries to move in. It's Saturday night into Sunday morning. I think we're going to have to watch the chance for some freezing rain. May nose down into northern Massachusetts. There will be big temperature differences. So this is the setup on Sunday. 40s and 50s across southern parts, extreme southern parts of New England. The sub-freezing air may hold in northern parts of the state. Certainly central New Hampshire, Vermont, and interior parts of Maine could be looking at a significant freezing rain and ice event. Snow closer to the border with Canada. So a very tricky setup. If you are traveling north this weekend before Christmas, expect some pretty nasty weather. For the Patriots, unbelievable. Baltimore, they'll be close to 70 degrees on Sunday. Will not be cold there for their huge matchup against the Ravens. And in terms of Christmas, an early look, Christmas Eve will be cold and windy, 26, but it'll feel more like teens and single digits. Christmas Day hovering right around the freezing mark, probably just a little bit below it. So your AccuWeather 7-day forecast looks like this. The above average temperatures running through the weekend, but much warmer in southern parts of the state. The colder air tries to hold on in northern parts of the state and into southern New Hampshire. Monday, showers will be lingering. They'll clear out as we head toward Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Back out here live, coming down the mountain, that'd be a former Olympian coming down the mountain, as a matter of fact. That's Pam Fletcher here at Neshoba. On a dime, just like that. Pam, thanks for joining us. Nice entrance.
I'll tell you what, Eric, it sure is great to have this kind of snow this early in December. The skiing is phenomenal.
Yeah, we're short on time, but quick questions about the weather here. Decembers have not been kind to us in the last couple of years, and this is a big change.
Well, without our snowmaking and grooming team, I don't know what we would do. I mean, they are just top-notch, and they put out some of the best quality snow. So even if you don't see it outside your doorstep, doesn't mean we don't have some fabulous skiing and snowboarding at Neshoba.
I can feel the change. Between Boston and here, it's a lot colder here, and it's not that far.
Yeah, it's not that far away, and it's a great place to play. Staying close to home, enjoying the winter. There's snow tubing. The terrain park just opened, and we have all of our trails are open. We're 100% right now with the 28-inch base.
All right, and last quick question, Holiday Lights. This goes till Monday, right?
Holiday Festival of Lights runs from tonight through Monday night, opens at 5. Last person gets to go through the ride, and we close right around 10 o'clock.
Beautiful. Thanks for letting us hang out today.
Yeah.
Slopes look great. Weather's perfect.
Thanks for joining us, Eric.
All right, Pam Fletcher right there. Had a good time out here in Neshoba. Hopefully you can take some time, come out to the slopes this weekend. All right, Jonathan, Lisa, back to you.
We're all in. We thought that looked great, Eric. Thank you. Turning to sports now. Patriots desperately need a win this weekend.
They need to turn it around. They need to go down and beat up on the Ravens.
Tough task, but
they can do it.
Yeah, we've seen these things happen before, so let's get right to it. Patriots 2.5-point underdogs heading into Sunday's big battle with the Ravens in Baltimore. The Pats come in at 10-4, fresh off that loss in Miami. And as for the Ravens, they come in winners of 4 straight after a 4-6 start. Meanwhile, Levin Reed tells us what the Pats have to do in order to come out victorious.
So what do the Pats have to do to win on Sunday? Well, first they have to make sure Joe Flacco doesn't beat them with the long ball. The Ravens QB has a big arm.
I think he has a lot of confidence in throwing to those guys, so you see him throw at least, 8 to 10 sometimes, just down the field and giving this guy a shot, and he really puts it out there.
And even though there are some new faces on the Baltimore defense, Terrell Suggs is a staple. And they've added Elvis Dumervil. Both can get after the quarterback.
They both played in this league a long time, and I've seen them on film tons of times. So they're both very good players. They're good at what they do. They're both powerful guys.
Offensively, Shane Vereen has got to get back on track. He has to rise above the double coverage.
You got to be open. You got to be able to see different defense, and you got to still be able to be effective regardless of what defense is out there.
An interesting take from the Patriots defense today. They said that Ravens place kicker Justin Tucker puts a lot of pressure on them. Justin has a big leg and he's pretty much automatic. If the Ravens offense gets to the 35-yard line, that's basically 3 on the board. At Gillette Stadium, I'm Levin Reed, WBZ Sports.
All right, Levin, remember to join us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, for Patriots All Access right here on WBZ, where you can decide which Patriots sackmaster is the better trash talker, Rob Ninkovich or Chandler Jones.
But he has played 3 technique before, which is pretty impressive at 255. It's not an easy position.
Not easy at all.
They don't put me in there for a reason.
I think you got to be tough enough to play.
Quicker.
No, I think you have to be tough.
I'm pretty tough.
Tough enough to play. 3 technique.
Alrighty, of course, Sunday night's game can be seen right here on WBZ at 4:25, followed by our 5th quarter post-game show over on MyTV 38. And we start the day with Patriots game day at 11:30, where Steve Burton goes one-on-one with Brandon Spikes, who just loves playing against the Ravens.
Honestly, this is my favorite game, because it's like, who's tougher? Like, yeah, I know we based our whole program on toughness, and they do the same. You can just see it on the field, so it's just, who's the baddest guy out there, who's the baddest team, and I get a kick out of that. I think that's how it was back in the day, that old school football. Like, it's just toughness. That's what it's about. Now the game is kind of a little bit more finesse nowadays, but Baltimore and New England, it's all about toughness.
Yeah, love to hear that. Sounds like he wants to play right now. All right, to hockey, David Warsofsky, the former BU Terrier and Marshfield native, will make his NHL debut tonight at Buffalo when the Bruins take on the Sabres. The defenseman got the call-up from Providence yesterday. Meanwhile, the Celtics have the night off, and the Houston Rockets have reportedly ceased trade talks regarding center Omer Asik. There were multiple reports last night that said the Seas were close to acquiring Asik in exchange for Brandon Bass, Courtney Lee, and a first-round pick. So, again, this is one of those things where you'll hear a lot of trade rumors come up this year with this team, but we'll see what Danny Ainge decides to eventually do to try to get them back on the top. This is a team that's already surprising a lot of people, though. Yeah, they're fun to watch this year, but they have long-term goals, and I think that's what Ainge is trying to do, balance both of those.
Makes it fun to watch.
Yeah. Danny, thanks very much. CBS Evening News is coming your way next at 6:30.
And Scott Pelley joins us live from New York now with a preview. Hi, Scott.
Lisa, Johnathan, great to be with you in Boston. An amazing case being investigated tonight. 40 million Americans lost their credit card information after shopping at Target because of a sophisticated theft ring. We will have that story, and we will have the story breaking right now out of London, where at least 88 people have been injured at a theater when the roof collapsed. We'll have our Charlie Daggett there on the scene. Those stories and the rest of the world news coming on the CBS Evening News in about 10 minutes.
Looking forward to it, Scott. Thanks very much. Well, forget the drive-thru. How about the walk-up window at McDonald's? We have that story coming up for you next.
As the year comes to a close, GMC is open to new ideas and incredible thinking, with a customer experience ranked highest by J.D. Power, a holiday event full of advanced engineering and design, and the chance to get a jump on the new year with exceptional offers on most GMC models. During the GMC holiday event, lease this 2014 GMC Terrain SLE for around $199 per month, plus get 1 year of Sirius XM, including every NFL game. Holiday offers end January 2nd.
For every late night, every weekend worked, every idea sold. You deserve a Cadillac, the fastest growing full-line luxury brand in the United States, including the all-new 2014 Cadillac CTS, Motor Trend's 2014 Car of the Year.
Get the best offers of the season. Lease this 2014 SRX for around $349 a month. Visit your New England Cadillac dealer. Hurry in. Offer ends January 2nd.
Okay, 6 more visits and you'll have your new dentures.
6?
6.
How about 3?
6.
4?
6.
4.5?
6.
5?
6. Okay, hold it. Let's try something new.
Okay, Mrs. Tucker, your dentures will be ready this Friday. You can do that? We do that. No way. Yes way. No, yes. No. Yes. Wow.
Aspen Dental is doing whatever it takes to give America a healthy mouth, like on-site denture labs for dentures in days, not weeks. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL because your mouth is our mission.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'll tell you why. Santa Claus is coming to town. He sees you when you're sleeping, he knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake.
Make your dreams come true this season with the Infiniti Limited Engagement Winter Event. Right now, lease an all-new Infiniti Q50 with all-wheel drive for $369 a month.
As the year comes to a close, GMC is open to new ideas and incredible thinking, with a customer experience ranked highest by J.D. Power. A holiday event featuring Sierra's advanced engineering, design, and capability, and the chance to get an exceptional offer on an all-new Sierra. During the GMC holiday event, trade up to this specially equipped 2014 GMC Sierra for a total value of $5,750. Find your dealer at gmcdealer.com.
Honoring Mayor Menino's commitment to Boston neighborhoods at the very place where he learned to swim. Today, the Hyde Park Y was renamed the Thomas M. Menino YMCA. Mayor Menino and his wife Angela were both on hand for the ceremony. And I got a chance to sit down with Mayor Menino and Mrs. Menino for one of their last interviews while he's in office. We talk about his proudest accomplishments, what he believes is the single most pressing issue going forward, and whether he and Mrs. Menino are afraid he'll get bored. It's a big life change coming for our mayor. You'll see that interview tomorrow night on WBZ News at 11.
Drive-through windows seem to be everywhere. Now we also have walk-up windows. Well, window. Here it is, the new McDonald's in Cambridge, and according to the Boston Globe, the Central Square McDonald's is still waiting for the proper permit for the window. Did you need a permit for the window? But once it's approved, the restaurant will serve a limited menu at the window 24 hours a day.
Great, make it easier to get those ice cream cones. Coming up next, Fenway Park freezing over.
The historic park getting ready for some winter games, Boston style.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Sleepy's, the mattress professionals. Improving lives through better sleep.
He was tireless, controversial, and few could deny he got things done. For 20 years, he shaped our city, but now Tom Menino is moving on. Lisa Hughes sits down with him exclusively
How about your biggest regret?
as the Menino era comes to a close.
How are you going to feel when you walk out the door of this office?
Friday on WBZ News at 11.
It's Happy Honda Days, our biggest sales event of the year. At Bach Honda on the Auto Mile, Route 1 in Norwood, and at Bach Honda West on Littleton Road in Westford, Mass. Drive home a brand new Honda CR-V for just $128 per month. Come on, Dad! That's right, lease a brand new CR-V 4x4 for just $128 per month. 2 great Bach Honda locations, 1 legendary low Bach Honda price. Everything you're looking for.
The Dodge Big Finish event is going to make the season even brighter with the powerful and efficient Dodge Charger, Dodge Challenger, America's most affordable V8 muscle car, and Dodge Dart with groundbreaking 41 mpg highway. Let's see the neighbors compete with that. Get some of the best deals of the year at the Dodge Big Finish event. Get $2,000 cash allowance or 0% financing for 60 months on the 2013 Dodge Dart.
Diamonds, the jewelry exchange, has half-carat solitaires for $4.99, 1-carat $9.90, and 1-carat certified solitaires $19.90. We have most sizes and grades of GIA diamonds and a low price guarantee. We set while you watch. Buy direct. The jewelry exchange in Sudbury.
Toyotathon is on, and there's never been a better time to get an amazing deal on a huge selection of new Toyotas. Hurry into Toyotathon today. Get Toyotathon 0 for 60 on an all-wheel drive Highlander. Toyota, let's go places.
Well, the Chevy year-end event sure was good to you. With 10 standard airbags and an EPA estimated 38 mpg highway, you guys are going to love your new Chevy Cruze.
Thanks again for the great deal, Nick.
Happy holidays!
Chevy's giving more. Right now, qualified current lessees can get a 2014 Chevy Cruze LT for around $149 per month.
Allen Mello Chrysler Jeep Dodge, where 7 inches matter the most. The ProMaster vans have arrived at Allen Mello. It sits up to 7 inches lower than the competition. When you're constantly in and out and loading your vehicle, this lower step-in height is a huge advantage. Our half-ton ProMaster van has a greater payload capacity than the competition's 3/4-ton vans.
Go to AlanMello.com. Better yet, come on in.
Hey Jim, these vans are made for big guys like me.
Every evening, there's only one place to get this kind of original reporting. I'm Scott Pelley from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Well, the hottest thing at Fenway Park right now is Frozen.
This is a 20-foot high monster sled people are talking about. It's taking shape in left field. You can also see the footprint of the skating rink that's going in. All part of Frozen Fenway. It's going to be hosting hockey games, ice skating, sledding from December 28th right through January 13th.
How much fun will that be?
It'll be really fun.
The slide looks like it's going to be great. We want to thank you for watching the newscast. Coming up next at 10 o'clock on our sister station. That's our next newscast. We'll see you then.
And as we go out, another live look at Neshoba Valley Ski Area. Have a great night.